What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the GITM podcast, where we cover true crime and the paranormal and whatever else we want to discuss.
We're being silenced by the woke media.
The man is bringing us down.
I declared Jesus King Jew, and apparently the original fucking creators of the content that short was made out of are no longer sharing it, even though it was fucking us.
It was hard content.
Eat a fat sack of dicks. That's
YouTube censoring us. Somebody probably got their panties all in a bunch.
This is why we need RFK Jr. to save us.
It was fucking hilarious. I don't know what to say about it, but I don't even know what we're covering tonight. What are we covering tonight before we get...
We're going to cover... I even have a teaser.
Oh, teasers.
This is Magdalena Solís.
I'm glad you said that, because
here's the teaser. This is the story of how one woman rose to power in a remote Mexican village fueled by deception, superstition, and unthinkable violence.
Sweet. So that is what we're covering.
Now, that being said, there's not a whole lot of graphic detail.
Oh, well, bullshit. I want graphic detail.
Well, it makes more sense once you find out the time and the place.
I mean, I know nothing about this one. You surprised me.
You're
with
welcome.
This. I mean, so I will be learning with the rest of you.
And as far as I know, if you saw the thumbnail, the fucking picture in the thumbnail is one of, if not the only known photograph of this woman.
I mean, is she a popular woman? I mean, I've never even heard of this.
She had a small following.
Kind of like us?
Probably bigger.
Probably bigger.
She definitely had less downloads because we have any.
One
is more. More is good. Danny DeVito from fucking Matilda taught us that.
Yeah, but that is what
you can see a live show where he narrates Matilda with a live orchestra.
I'm good.
They're also, I don't know if they're still doing it, but I know they were doing certain theaters were doing re-screenings of like remastered Goonies in theaters.
I'd say Goonies wasn't that great.
I love the Goonies, okay. But like, goddamn. It's a bit much.
That's about the only good part of that.
I know. I was like, that's the best thing. I was like, the fucking it was an 80s call to arms to save and help mentally challenged adults.
Hollywood is really kind of pissing me off.
And they didn't have a black kid.
Fucking racist. Well, back in the 80s, I guess. What can you expect? But Hollywood is getting so fucking lazy. All we're doing is rebooting shit.
Yeah, I want to watch that new Nosferatu. Apparently it's good. But how, like, not to shit on classics, but, like, how do you not improve on a silent film?
That is true.
Like,
I mean, anything's an
even if it was still silent and they just had modern musical scores, I'd be like, it's an improvement.
It's an improvement. I've actually never watched the original. I couldn't get through. I think I started and couldn't get through it. Did
you ever watch the movie they made about it?
I think I have seen that.
The movie about the movie with Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, I think I have seen that.
Yeah, the first character actor.
Yeah. So it's been a while since I've seen it, but that's...
I look fat tonight. You know why? Because I am.
That's okay.
I have not made a serious effort to go to the gym since about Christmas time.
Well, I was thinking about it, then I got sick because I was thinking about it this week. And then
you can try to blame me all you want, but it does not seem like you have what I have.
I'm just tough. I ain't a puss.
No, I was actually just talking about that today. Like I accept that a lot of guys are little bitches about being sick sometimes. I'm usually not. I was laid the fuck out. Yeah, you saw me.
You sound like shit.
Did you hear me when I was asleep? Like, it was one of those sicknesses where, like, I wasn't trying to or thinking about it, but it was the kind of sick where, like, when I laid down to sleep or take a nap, like, I was just going...
I was back here.
I was just, like, fucking groan every time I exhaled.
What was it, Saturday night? I was back here editing, and I thought...
Oh, yeah, because I slept almost all day Saturday.
I thought I was going to have to call the paramedics.
Just hacking my lungs out.
That, and it was just fucking, like, you stop breathing, like sleep apnea.
Oh, I have sleep apnea.
But it was bad. It was like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I had my phone, 9-1.
I have sleep apnea, but like, And I do be making some weird noises when I almost die in my sleep.
There were some weird ass noises coming from there. Either
But
that
dude,
or you were beating the shit out of it.
No, and it's like I said, like, you know you have a fever when you're laying there with your blankets and shit and you can't get warm. But then to wake up literally less than 2 hours after that and be on fire.
Yeah.
And to take just a straight Niagara Falls poop.
I did that too.
Dude, it just like I woke up, it was like 3:30 in the morning on Friday night, well, Saturday morning, whatever, and it just like fell out of my body, and then I laid back down and I went from being freezing to like I kicked my socks off because it felt like my fucking feet were in ovens, and I had my pajama pants rolled up, I had my shirt up with like my fucking juicy tits out, and I turned on the fan and I'm just like fucking overheating like a bitch.
Well, I was so cold, but I felt hot. It was last night, like I said, I went to sleep like 7:30. I don't even know what time you came home. You were
last
home?
night?
Yeah.
Before 11. It wasn't.
Yeah,
that
because
late.
I woke up at 11.
Yeah, because you got out of bed shortly after I came home.
Okay, but I went to bed like 7:30.
Because I was wondering what the fuck was going on. I was like, is he going to turn the machines on? Like,
no, I was just tired and fucking beat. But I was so cold, but I was running a fever and everything. But I would put my hands were so cold when I was under the covers, tucked up. I put my hands up under here, under my.
Oh, dude,
it warmed. It was like an inferno.
Like when I first went to sleep Friday night when I couldn't get warm, when I was like, oh shit, I definitely have a fever. Because that's, if you have no reason to not be warm and you can't get warm, you have a fucking fever.
Right.
Like by the time I finally went to sleep, I like had like the blanket like kind of like fucking Mother Maried around my face, laying on like mostly on my stomach with like the one hand tucking the blanket up under my face and the other arm just like tucked underneath my body because I just laid there in a straight line, just like, it's gonna be okay.
Well, I woke up at 11 o'clock, like I was telling you earlier. I set my alarm for 11 o'clock because I didn't want to sleep all night and the dog
party all day.
I didn't want the dog. I didn't want to wake up to that mess this morning. So I said I'll wake up at 11, let him out, make sure he's good, and then go back to bed. My fever, I think, had broke, but I was so freaking hot.
Yeah, dude.
I went outside, let him outside. I stood out there in T-shirts and shorts and no fucking socks.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is fucking nice. It was probably 20 fucking degrees out.
And then I cycled through that a little bit.
Then I also thought it was 11 o'clock, and I started getting ready for work because I didn't realize it was 11 o'clock.
Crushed it. Just killing it. But yeah, no, it was rough.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, I still got a nice juicy cough.
But at 11 o'clock, once I realized I could go back to bed, I said, I better use the bathroom. And I had that Niagara Falls. I thought something was wrong.
Yeah, dude, same. I woke up the night that I like realized I was sick. When I woke up, I was like, I kind of got to go to the bathroom. I got to go potty. I got to go number 2. And then I sat down and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Well, and then I sat there for a while. Sorry for folks, but
this is the reality. It was like the scene from Carrie.
And it was just coming. It wasn't even like I was doing anything.
Yeah.
I was just like, this shit just coming.
Like I didn't even know it was happening. Like my stomach wasn't upset or anything. I think my body just like boiled off all the solids.
Oh, it was bad. But I felt 1,000 times better once I had the Niagara Falls deuce.
I just went straight back to bed.
Then I went back to bed and woke up at 5 o'clock. Said, I feel halfway decent.
Yeah, because I text the other manager and I was like, hey man, heads up, tonight might not be happening. So I work in the restaurant industry. Like throwing up, diarrhea, and fever are like the 3 no-goes.
Yeah, when you're dealing with the food industry, you don't want me, doesn't matter.
Well, and it's like people be like, you never gone to work after you threw up. I'm like, most people in the restaurant industry that go to work after they throw up, it's because they're not sick. They're hungover.
Yes.
And they threw up by choice.
There's a big difference.
Because I've done that many times in my younger years where I'm like, no, this is for the best.
Hey.
This is for the good of the people. And you just go and like hover over the toilet for a minute until you're like, you start getting that hot mouth.
Hey.
And you're like, oh, here.
Billy Bob said it right. Puke and rally.
Yeah. I've also done that multiple times in my life. Not the proudest moments
There's
of my
some
life.
hot dogs in here. You guys want any?
I have definitely thrown up and continued to drink.
R.I.P. That's a damn shame. That's a
Who?
Billy Bob from Varsity Blues. He's dead.
Oh.
Lost all that weight.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan Suplee or Suplee?
Yeah, he lost all that weight and then died.
When?
Oh, it's been years.
He's dead?
Yeah.
He's not dead.
How much you want to bet?
Is he really dead?
Yes.
Hold on.
One of the best characters of all time. I love that dog. That's a pig. Yeah, I love that dog.
Wait, no. Billy Bob from Varsity Blues is not Ethan Suplee.
Okay. No, you that's the guy from
That's
Remember the Titans.
That's the fat one from Remember the Titans.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive. But Billy Bob lost a lot of weight too, and then died.
Oh, I don't even know who that guy's name is. Who that guy's name is? That was
Varsity
intelligent.
Blues cast
Let's see. Billy Bob.
from Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues. Ron Lester.
He looks like a Ron Lester.
He did lose a good amount of weight.
Yeah,
He looked weird skinny.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks weird skinny. He looks like...
But when he died,
He looks like...
he's been dead a while.
he looks like John Favreau if he rode the short bus.
Yeah. But what does it say?
Again, I apologize.
Does it say what year he died? He's been dead a while. It's probably
Club sandwiches, not seals. I like that shirt. Yeah, 2016.
I was gonna say it's been a while. Yeah.
He didn't go very far. Born in Kennesaw, Georgia.
I mean,
died in Dallas, Texas.
That's one of the greatest characters in cinema, Billy Bob.
That's one of the worst looks. I don't mean to speak ill of the dead, but
some people are like that. They look. I think like Adele.
Kidney failure.
I think Adele was much more attractive when she was a little heavier. I don't know what it is.
I don't really have much of an opinion.
But there are some people that, like me, if I drop down to 180, I'd look like Skeletor, and I would be even more hideous than I already am.
My number's even higher. If I get down to like 220 or lower, I look like my neck's all long and weird and shit.
Well, maybe you need to. That one guy says you don't have a neck.
That's true. Wait for it.
Fat gay. Oh, Jessica's here. I haven't seen
So I'm
Jessica
not fat. I'm like an owl.
Welcome.
Owls don't look like they have necks, and they can turn their heads like 189 degrees or some shit like that.
All right. You ready to get this shit started?
I don't know. Did you want to bitch about anything?
Oh, YouTube's assholes.
You still happy TikTok's around?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Has anything happened in the world? Trump's talking about taking away income tax and raising tariffs.
I thought the Colombian shit was kind of funny.
What?
But they were sending the Colombians back in those big those big Airbuses, the military, whatever, the C-130s or whatever.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let them land. Apparently, the president of Cuba or Colombia would not let them land. So I guess old Trumpy Poo got on the phone and said, "Listen, we're going to 25% tariff. After one day, it's going to go to 50%." And guess what? He said, "Do you want me to send my plane to help you out, get you some of those guys? Come on back. Bring that plane back. I'll send my plane to help bring it back."
You're going to take them. That's all you're going to do. I'm not. That's like, I have, over the years, become pretty decent at imitating people. I cannot do Trump.
That wasn't bad. That was one of your better ones. I mean,
I don't have the fucking, like, the rasp that he has in his older age. Like,
Yeah.
Shane Gillis does a great Trump.
I will say that.
He has his cadence and everything. He described it. He was like, you just have to, like, say something and then say it again in a different way.
But one thing he did do, I guess, all the JFK stuff's going to be declassified.
See, I mean, that's cool and everything, but, like,
It's going to tell us what we already.
Do we think we're going to learn anything drastically new?
But if I'm not mistaken, under the whole order or executive order, Martin Luther King stuff, Malcolm
Do you
X,
think the shit about Martin Luther King is going to be true? About him being like a crazy womanizer and shit like that?
That wouldn't surprise me, but I'm pretty sure that who was it? What was it? Mike Baker, the CIA guy.
Mm.
He's always on Rogan. He's always
Not the long-haired cat.
No, gray hair. He had that TV show. On like one of those.
I know who you're talking about.
But
I don't know if
he was
that's his
former
name.
CIA, not that you're thinking of the dark complected guy,
Yeah.
Bustamante. No.
Yeah, the one that's like an ex-CIA agent, and you're looking at him and you're like, really?
But Baker was, he was also CIA. I don't know what he was in the CIA because Rogan makes a joke. He thinks he's still in, But he always said JFK. He's not sure about. He said, but the one that's really interesting that the CIA could be behind is Martin Luther King.
I think the CIA is behind Martin Luther King.
Yeah. So
even if it wasn't to further advance their shit, I think that they were behind it. But at the same time, I think the CIA is behind most fucked up shit that happens.
well,
As far as killings go,
especially overseas.
That's
what I always got. I always found it funny when they talk about Russia meddling in our elections. What do you people think the CIA does?
It's literally the CIA's job
to start coups.
The CIA does stuff undercover around the world, and the fucking, what is it? ATF does all the cool fucking Walker Texas Ranger shit.
And because the CIA is not allowed to operate on U.S. soil, supposedly.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting to see what comes out. I mean, I think they're not going to tell. There's going to be no revelations about it. I
know. They're like, we're going to declassify all this information. I'm like, no, you're going to declassify this much information out of a book this thick.
Well, because I believe Trump's actual comment his last term, or his first term, I guess would be a better way to say it. He said when he didn't declassify all of it, I believe his comment was, somebody can check me, I believe it, but his comment was, you wouldn't want to know what I saw.
That's what I fucking always say too. I was talking about this the other night, and I was like, dude, I hope they don't let all this shit out, because like, we don't want to know a lot of this shit.
Because there are many people that believe that was actually a coup, which probably was.
It would be three ways. It would be like lose your shit and like go all anarchy mode, wake up and go to work because there's nothing you can do about it, or possibly just die of a heart attack or an aneurysm.
Well, and it also goes in, I mean, for a little foreshadowing for next week, the CIA has really, 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 the government, I will say, has really went out of their way to discredit movements in our history. A little prelude for next week.
Bowel movements.
So, but I think it'll be interesting. But here's what when those documents drop, it'll be just yes.
Aliens, yep.
CIA, yeah.
They're just gonna show us one page with a bunch of fucking checked boxes. That's all it's gonna be.
What you said, yes. What everybody has said for fucking 70 years or whatever, however long it has been, is yes.
This fucking thing.
That's what I
think. That's my main reason for wanting to replace this mic stand already. This little fucker gets loose all the time.
I hate when she gets loose. All right, let's go ahead and get this shit show on the roll.
All right.
On the road.
So Magdalena Solís. So we're gonna start with a little info on her because that's literally all we have from her childhood.
Is this vampirism?
You'll have to wait and see.
Okay, sweet.
So
I love me some vampires.
We're gonna start with literally these 3 bullet points that I have because that's about all the information we have from her young life. Born in Mexico, confirmed. Exact date of birth, not confirmed. Likely in the 1930s or 1940s. Somewhere within that 20-year period.
Okay.
Yes. Impoverished young life. Pretty much all we know.
Well, she lives in Mexico, so of course.
Involved in the sex trade.
Nice.
Likely by the age of 12.
Not nice. I should have held back before I said that.
Along with her brother Eliezer, who was her lifelong. That's her ride or die. Right. Eliezer.
Hey, blood's thicker than water, so they say.
Yeah. So we're gonna set the scene a little bit.
Set it.
Wah, wah, wah. I wish I should have fucking brought like a bag of coins to be like Spurs. Hola, compadre. Welcome to Mexico, a land of great mystery.
What's that?
And crimes.
I keep picturing, what was that movie with Antonio Banderas?
The Mexican?
No, not that one. The other one, where he was the hitman with the guitar.
It was the Mexican, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was called the Mexican, was it?
No, the Mexican was the one with Brad Pitt.
But what?
Right? Wasn't it Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt
with the fucking gun with the heart-shaped revolver.
Yeah, but I forget the name of it, but where his guitar case was a fucking gun.
It should just be called Fuckable Assassin. Antonio Banderas.
Good looking man. I will
carrying around. I know exactly what you're talking about. He dressed like the Three Amigos.
Right, yeah.
Which is really culturally appropriated because I say he dressed like the Three Amigos even though the Three Amigos were just dressed in traditional mariachi garb.
Right.
Mariachi.
I am secure enough in my heterosexuality to say that is the one good looking man.
I'd fuck Antonio Banderas.
I'm sure he'd have something to say about that. But especially like Interview with Vampire Antonio. Good looking man.
And you have to listen to music by somebody whose last name ends in Iglesias.
I could listen to him talk forever.
Even his Puss in Boots, he's enchanting.
Yes.
That was him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He was in, what was it, Shrek 2?
Or 3 or 5.
One of them, and then he had his own movie. Whatever. Okay, go ahead.
I know, because I'm pretty sure I had a picture of a poster of Puss in Boots when I was young in high school.
Okay.
It's just the one of him like
I'm going to reserve judgment.
Like that. And then like I drew with like silver Sharpie in his eyes and shit like that, and it was creepy as fuck. You know, I was that kid. So anyway.
We're studying the scene.
There's a desert. In the desert. Tumbleweeds. Rattlesnakes. Las cucarachas. Armadillos.
Do I need subtitles for our own podcast? Jesus?
Coyote y Roadrunner.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Horrible representation of a Roadrunner, I would have to say, from our childhood cartoons. Have you seen a real Roadrunner?
No.
They're like this tall.
Just the cartoon. That poor
Yeah, they're like this tall.
I mean, that was abuse.
For the Roadrunner or the coyote?
The coyote.
But anyway, coyotes in the distance with the rattlesnakes and the scorpions and the tarantulas. Y jabalinas, papas fritas. That means French fries.
Are you just saying every Spanish word that you know?
No, I actually know quite a few more Spanish words than that. Thank you, you fucking gringo. Come to find out, I was always wrong. The gringo thing that we've all learned, that is not true. It is not gringo. It's not. That's not what it is. There's actually like I don't know the word for it, but there's actually a history behind the word gringo, and like it actually means something.
It doesn't mean filthy American.
I mean, I guess it kind of does by proxy now at this point. So anyway, we're going to jump back in time to 1962, the year of our Lord.
Before I was born.
Paul McCartney.
Don't mention King Jew. Don't want to get this taken down.
Yeah, what the fuck? Was King Jew that fucking like that dividing in the culture of YouTube?
I guess.
Considering that it's an accurate name.
I know. We just don't want to get taken down. We are on the list. We made the list, buddy.
Fuck them. Take down our. We're not. How can they take us down? We're not even monetized.
I know. They're trying.
And then
to
we'll just go to
us.
Rumble. Dana White won't silence us.
No.
Dana White's the one that owns Rumble, right?
I don't know.
Okay, so 1962, the small village of Yerba Buena in Nuevo León, Mexico. A isolated and impoverished and deeply superstitious area. There's I think it's the Sierra Madre Oriental or some shit like that.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. I'm literally just pulling from very cloudy memory on this, but it's a mountain range that runs kind of down central Mexico. This is on the Gulf side of that, I believe.
The Gulf of America side?
Yeah,
okay.
Our Gulf.
We're taking that shit.
I don't know why we want it. Why the fuck does it matter if it's the Gulf of America? I don't understand.
Which, theoretically, I believe we have more coastline than Mexico. of the Gulf.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Gulf of Mexico is like all of a sudden a thing, and I also don't understand why people are like, yeah, Canada's gonna be 51st state. No, it's not.
That's the power.
It's not.
That is what's the power, and what's so funny about Trump. He could say something,
and people fucking believe it
as a troll, and that's all he's doing is trolling. And people actually believe it. And I think there is actually a movement now to rename it the Gulf of America.
It's so stupid. It doesn't even sound good.
No, Gulf of Mexico sounds fine.
It does. It's fucking dumb. It's so stupid. It just makes me realize how stupid so many people are. But that being said, I'm not the hugest Trump guy. I think he's a bit of a twat in some ways. But he's hilarious for shit like that.
There's no doubt he is the funniest president we've ever had.
Literally just said that one of his opponent's wives was ugly during one of his debates in his first fucking campaign.
In his first campaign, the drop the mic moment when in one of those debates, I forget which one.
Are you gonna say when he offered to nuke a hurricane?
No, in the first debates and when he first ran.
Yeah.
When he said something, the question was something to do about his degrading women, and he called women fat pigs. He goes, "Just Rosie O'Donnell." That was just classic. Just Rosie.
He
only one.
Or like the fact that he does not rebut things with fact. People just be like, Donald Trump sexually assaulted this woman, and it'll be like on court record that he did like grab her ass or something. Wrong. That's it, President Trump, do you have a rebuttal? That's it. That's all he's got.
Well, here's the problem.
His wife is ugly. She's a fat whore.
Here's the thing about Trump. Then we'll get back to Mexico. He speaks,
no, we won't, because it's America.
He speaks in hyperbole. Not the best trait for a president, but it is funny as fuck.
He's walking, talking clickbait.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's outlandish.
But
again, Shane Gillis when they did the Kill Tony, where he was Trump and Adam Ray was Biden. Did you watch that?
No.
Dude, you have to watch it. It's I think it's one of the Madison Square Garden shows from last year.
Yeah.
And like that episode, between the episode and every clip that's been made of it, at least for a period of time, I don't know if it still holds this record, was the most viewed thing in the history of YouTube.
Gillis does have the best Trump, just like what's his name has the best Cat Williams.
Dan Soder.
That is the best Cat Williams. And when he did Cat Williams on the Kill Tony, I laugh every time I see it.
Yeah, you got to watch that Trump and Biden episode with Adam Ray and Shane. It's hilarious. He's just off the wall. Yeah. He's like, fucking, what is it? Somebody said something about colored pencils. He's like, we don't call them colored pencils. We call them black pencils. And he starts to laugh. He's like, pens we call them.
All right.
Or he went on one of the former strippers from one of the Roses or whatever that he works with, Tony Hinchcliffe. Like, she came out and he was like, great tits, American tits. We don't have American tits anymore, fentanyl tits. It's fucking, right. It is so stupidly hilarious. I've watched it so many times. Okay. I'm sorry. Again,
we're
still getting over it.
You don't like it, don't watch.
It's going to be okay.
Don't listen.
So, the way I describe this place, obviously, perfect breeding ground for the manipulation of, I don't want to say weak-minded people, but maybe not
susceptible to
not worldly learned
naive people.
Because we're talking crazy small. We're talking like 10 to 20 families in this little area, and there's like different settlements of that type of thing going on for miles.
Strong in that one.
Yeah, there might have been a couple Mongo. So this brings us to the beginning of the story. Really, is the Hernandez brothers.
So cliche name.
It really is. At least Magdalena Solís is like, oh, how exotic. These guys, Santos y Cayetano Hernandez. Shitty petty criminals, and they found themselves in Yerba Buena with a con on the mind.
Ooh.
Yes. They claimed to these people that they were prophets of the Incan gods.
Oh, boy.
Promising them wealth, power, and prosperity. Mind you, kind of an easy in because there's already tales of hidden treasures within the mountains and shit.
Right.
Because, like, in this area, you have these populations of people, and then you have just, like, caverns.
Well, is it the Lost City of Gold? That's Aztec, not Incan, right?
I think so.
I think it's Aztec. Never mind. But with all
It might cross over between all...
With all these ancient cultures, there's always the...
is it Mayan?
Treasure. Maybe it's...
It might cross over with all of them, honestly. I don't know. So, they gained the trust of these impoverished villagers by preaching their fabricated religion.
I think it was called Desperado.
Desperado.
I think that was the name of the movie with...
Why don't you come to your senses?
See, we were talking about the Lost City of Gold, which was the road to El Dorado. Then that gave me Desperado. See, I just connected.
And it was a great song.
Oh,
You've been out riding
pretty sure
fences
I'm pretty sure it's called Desperado. Okay,
for so long now.
I had to get that out before I lost it again in my stroke-riddled brain.
I can't remember the next lyric.
Fuck the Eagles.
Oh, you're a hard one. Something, something. Burn. Hey, the Eagles.
Yeah, but Don Henley...
Great hit makers.
Don Henley was a bit of a twat.
Do you prefer Don Fry?
Not really.
I give Don Henley credit. Don Henley played drums and sang.
Well, so did Phil Collins. How hard could it be?
Yeah, look at that 4 hot pages of notes.
Oh, we'll be out of here early, kids.
Oh yeah, I told you there wasn't going to be much to this one. It's pretty like, because it's so out there geographically, and from the time period that it's not like there's like news reports for real about all this shit. We're talking middle of fucking nowhere, Mexico in the 60s.
It's out there.
Los sesentas.
Probably didn't have electricity.
Or possibly las sesentas. Yo no sé. Where did I... Oh, I went too far up. So, yeah. So these guys roll into town, and, like, that's kind of their thing. They're just criminals. They've got all these little fucking robberies and con men. However you say con men in Spanish. Los canos menos.
I don't think that's correct.
Caballeros.
I don't think that's correct either.
Vaquero.
I don't know.
Chupa mi culo, which I think loosely translates to suck my asshole.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a whole thing. And then, so this is also why there's not that many notes, because some of it's off the cuff. So they basically move into this territory and they get these stupid fucking dirt farmers out in the middle of nowhere in Mexico. What the fuck are you growing in Mexico? In the desert? I don't want to say desert, but the mountains of Mexico. I don't know that's
heroin, cocaine.
No, it's usually
that's forest.
More of a jungle thing. Dirt,
hashish, Spanish fly,
scorpions. They had a scorpion farm. They were selling armadillos.
That they have in abundance.
So they move into this town. They start telling these people that they're Incan prophets and baby, and getting these people to believe them.
Dumbasses.
Yeah, through through the old snake parlor, snake oil or fucking type shit.
Right.
Little bullshit that they can be like, ho ho. That'll get these people to be like, ay, Dios mío, está Dios.
I mean, if you can get people to believe in an alien God, you can get anybody to believe in anything. So,
realistically, if you can get people to believe in a God, period, before religion is a thing.
Here's the thing. People want, this has always been my thing. People want to believe there's a higher meaning or a purpose. And this, basically all these guys were taking, that's what they were taking advantage of, yes. It is human nature to actually want to believe in something greater than yourself.
Yeah, so they pull this shit and then they have all these people just basically doing whatever they ask them to. So they're like living like, you could say they're living like kings, but like to the extent that you could live like kings in the region in time that we're talking about.
But if you don't know you're poor, are you really poor?
Well, I mean, my thing is like, why here? Like, how much are you really gaining from these people? You just get to be like, we are rich men. We have more dirty waters than everyone else has dirty waters. I have no less than 5 tortillas with dinner every night. And I eat meat twice a month.
I mean, easy marks is the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Just easy marks.
So they're doing all this shit. And then eventually, over time, these people started to lose control of these people. They started to be some breaking off from the herd and some disbelief in what they were preaching. Because, they're promising wealth and good weather and crops, all this other shit. The easiest stuff to try to guarantee without actually having to be able to make good on it realistically at this time period. So what do they say? They say, we're going to go on. Oh, and through this, there are drugs involved throughout this story, both cannabis and peyote, which for those who don't know, peyote is a hallucinogenic fungus or cactus. Never done it. Probably would. They look kind of cute.
I've always wanted to do it, but I can't do it now.
Why?
Drug test.
I'm going to accept it, but I'm interested to know how many drug tests test for peyote.
I don't know.
I feel like it's not a very popular drug anymore. I feel like the kids are running around like, hey, bro, you want to eat some peyote tonight?
I think DMT would be a interesting, mind-opening experience, but I don't know what they test for.
See, I don't think DMT should be fully illegal.
And doesn't that shit...
And you should, just as long as you don't go to work and do it at work. Because depending on if you just do it, you're only in it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a short... Seems like forever from what I've
told. It's like salvia. Like, I've done salvia a couple times.
See, I've never done any hallucinogens.
I have.
I've never done...
Salvia was interesting. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like a quick thing.
I want to see the machine elves. I see what the fuck they're up to.
You want to see Peter Dinklage and fucking Thor?
But here's my problem with DMT or any of those. I got enough skeletons, it'd probably be a bad trip. I probably got enough shit in my background. Probably not going to be a good experience for me. So I better just stay with my Bud Light.
Or maybe you come out happy on the other side.
I do find it interesting. People have had near-death experiences. Have you ever talked to anybody that's had a near-death experience? Who have actually died and, came back for a short amount of time?
I feel like I have. I can't 100% say yes, but I feel like I have.
They have no fear of death. It's like they know what's on the other side.
Well, it's like I think we've talked about this. There's no point. I'm okay with not wanting to die. But what's the point of fearing death? It's coming for you one way or the other.
Yeah, but everybody doesn't want the party to end because of the uncertainty of it. Let's be honest.
Because it probably does just fucking end.
Or there's a heaven, or in my case, maybe a hell. I don't know.
Or you just reboot into another server.
But these people, I've interacted with somebody who basically died, and that you don't want to party with that fucker. He goes hard in the fucking paint. Don't dare him to do shit. Oh, you want to play Russian roulette? Okay, let's go. Whoa, back up, buddy. We're good.
I play Russian roulette with cocks.
Okay, anyway.
So yeah, this is all going on, and then over the course of time, they start to lose their followers a little bit.
They weren't.
The sheep start to stray from the flock.
They weren't providing enough
or herd
returns on their promises.
Yeah, go figure, right? So what do? They say, hold on, essays. Hold on to your fucking Dickie shorts and Cortez Nikes and your calf-high socks. Chill your fucking chonies for a second. We're going to go off onto a great expedition, and we're going to come back with a goddess
Oh, now we're talking, baby.
Yes, and actually, I need to pause so I can turn up my phone to not attempt to say the name of this goddess and just have the Google pronunciation thing do it. They were going to bring back a goddess. This goddess would be the physical rebirth and representation of the wife of Mixcoatl, also known as Tetioinan. It is this is the Aztec goddess who gave birth to the moon and stars, and another fucking god, who is the god of the sun and war. We are talking of the mother of the deities, the goddess of fertility, the patroness of life and death, and the guide of rebirth.
A lot of fucking titles.
Which goes by this name.
Sure.
Coatlicue, I think. Let's try that again.
Hey, hooker.
Coatlicue.
If you say so, Google.
So yeah, that's a thing. Pretty big deal.
I mean, if you're going to aim big, shoot for the stars.
Pretty legitimate goddess, we would have to say. Correct?
That's like bringing Jesus back.
So, yeah, so they start losing their, 50 followers.
They're 50 followers.
Literally.
So they're kind of like us.
Yeah, literally. So, and then other fact, because I'm kind of freeballing this one.
Well,
They chose to be Incan prophets,
okay.
even though the Incas weren't from Mexico.
I thought they were.
No.
Or the Aztecs from Mexico.
Something like that. Or the Mayans.
The Mayans were from Mexico. I don't fucking know.
M for Mayans and Mexico.
Well, Incan South American.
Yeah.
So, I mean, still connected.
But still, you would think they would maybe do their homework a little better. Well, they'd be like, no, that one lasted longer, even though I don't think it did.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on South American.
Peru, to be exact, is where the Inca culture was predominant. Peru?
I'm trying to think where. At least it wasn't Chile. That fucked up country. Yeah. That big dick looking country.
Yeah, so this goes on. So they say we're going to bring back Coatlicue as a goddess, a physical form of this goddess. They go off. They run into fucking old Magdalena Solís and her brother, whose name is annoying, and I will Eleazar. I think it's technically Lizard Man.
The American pronunciation, Elzar.
Uncle Laser. So they see Coatlicue.
Sure.
Coatlicue.
Codicure. That's what I say.
Cuticles.
That's what it looks like to me.
So she comes in, mind you, by this time she's a little bit older. She's been
rode hard, put away wet.
Excuse me, in sex work, likely from around the age of 12.
Bad.
Yes, her brother's involved. Be it pimping her out, protecting her, also being in the sex trade, both of them being little vigilante. Well, I guess vigilantes would be kind of a good thing. Little shit stirrer children,
Pimping ain't easy.
Living on the streets, making their way downtown, walking fast. Faces pass and they're homebound.
I don't fault any person for doing what they got to do to survive.
That doesn't mean it doesn't suck.
You're right.
I'm not in support of this young woman having to get into that business at the age she did at all. So she comes in and by doing this, she's handed a lifestyle like she's never had before. She's the center of attention in this community, be it a small one. She's the Britney Spears, circa 99 of these 50 people.
These 50 people.
She's basically like that one Lithuanian pop singer that nobody in the world knows, but if you go there, they're like, oh my God, or however they fucking say, oh my God, in Lithuanian. Ashton Kushkin.
What was that one Mexican singer? What was it, Selena?
Selena, the one that got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Apparently
one
she was a big deal.
Yeah, they would still be selling pictures of her or T-shirts with her on them in fucking Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Snoop Dogg,
Bob Marley.
Biggie, Bob Marley, Sublime, Selena. I'm not sure where she still has this like cult following, but she does. Probably because she died.
I've never heard any of her music. That
I have.
Is it any good?
I mean,
Is it
if you're into that type of music?
Is it Shakira good?
Well, Shakira's music's not good.
Don't bite your tongue.
So that's why she sounds like that, because she bit her tongue. And then she went into the recording studio and she was like,
she has the voice of an angel with a 10-foot cock.
Now we're getting to the bottom of what you're really looking for.
But she looks good, though.
It's just like
And you know
fucking
what?
Shaggy. Like, why the fuck does Shaggy sound like that?
Her hips don't lie.
Like, why does Shaggy sound like that? Especially, I love how it's like Shaggy, and they have like both Shaggys on that same album when he put out like Angel and shit like that.
I thought there was only one Shaggy. He just had other people sing the harmony parts.
Is that what it is? I thought it was the same guy, and he just
No.
did. Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
All I know is that's fucking stupid.
Shaggy just said the melodies, but he had somebody else singing. What's that one that they play at the bar all the fucking time?
It wasn't me.
Yes. God. There's actually a guy that sings that, basically the good parts of it. And then he just comes in and does a rap part.
Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling. And then for no reason, just shahala bala dala kala bala holla, bala bala dala la wala la bala. It's literally what it sounds like.
I didn't say.
And then it's like, why that? Because if we're gonna go with the holla bala dala sounding fucking guy, then just keep making music like they call me Mr. Bombastic, clearly fun. That's a jam, dude.
That is.
People forget about that song. You know what other song has like that reggae vibe from the 90s
Informer?
that people forget about?
Informer.
That's a good one
That's
too.
good. No, can't understand a
But
word
no,
he's saying.
fucking Sweat. Ooh, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat. The one that everybody thinks is called a la 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 long. A la 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 la
okay,
long
yeah.
long li long long long.
Okay.
Fucking that's another jam. Fucking bring back 90s fucking club hits. The ones like those that you can actually understand, not real.
90s was awesome.
Dude, I'd be putting on 90s club hits all the time at work just for the vibe.
I mean, think about it. You had Biggie.
I'm not even talking about just shit like that. I'm talking like legit club songs.
Well,
Like at work, just to like get people moving. It's like, rhythm is a dancer. Like,
you know, Milli Vanilli, baby.
or dude, like just like literally all of those old like what there for a while was like a stereotypically like gay trope song, like Rhythm is a Dancer.
Oh, yeah.
and fucking just all those types of club music are fucking jams. Like when you're in the zone getting after it doing something, like that shit go like,
I mean, if you think about it, that era of music, take rock out of it. Rock, that was a down year. Those were down years.
There was good rock, but
I hate to say it, grunge kind of took over, kind of ruined rock a little bit. It wasn't fun anymore. It
was sad.
The best,
Great emotional music.
Those were the best years of hip hop.
Yeah.
Outside of the mid '80s
I think I personally think that we're coming into some decent years again.
of hip hop.
Yeah.
I have to be able to understand the fucking lyrics, bitch.
Like Big X the Plug, big fan of Big X the Plug. He's from Dallas. He weighs about 450 pounds.
If I can't understand your fucking lyrics,
No, you can understand him.
okay.
He's just got you know that screwed and chopped sound that Texas came up with back in like the late 90s, early 2000s with like DJ Screw back when like 8 Ball and MJG was around and shit.
Okay.
Like where they would just like they would actually slow the record down and like chop it up and shit like that. He sounds like that naturally.
Okay.
Like it sounds like his voice is like on like heroin. It's so deep. It's weird and it's fucking great. And I think he makes good music. He makes music that his type of music. It's like street music, but he has like fucking great beats. Like one of his big hits originally, or not originally, but it was like a song called Whip. And like the sample for the beat was, "You wanna see me whip it? Girl, can make it right. Give me just a minute of your time tonight." And it's a fucking jam, dude.
90s was a great time. Might be the best decade ever.
But yeah, like I love being at work, like when I'm busy and there's like, and I, we got a good team roll going. And it's like I said, rhythm is a dancer. And then just throw in there like, he's the fire starter. Like, and you just fucking go straight like XXX Russian club music. And then it's great because, I work with people now 50-50 older or younger than me. And it's like, get some like 40-year-olds in there and just like, especially one that who taller than me, beard.
Oh.
Yeah. That man I feel like was a nut at the club in his younger years because I'll put on like fucking, like I said, like Rhythm is a Dancer, one of my favorites, or fucking like
Ace of Base.
Everybody get up, it's time to jam now. We got, come on, ride the train and ride it. And it's so funny because like you've met that guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of stoic and quiet,
Oh.
but like you can tell that was his shit when he was young. Like he used to be a club dude because like eventually, like as long as everything's going right, you put on that old 90s club music and like you'll just kind of see him start moving his hips and shit. I've straight caught that man doing like full on fucking dances and shit, like just by himself. And I'm like, let's fucking go. It's just good times, man.
Where are we at? Okay. We got the goddess coming back.
So
let me ask a question though real quick. Magdalena.
Yeah.
They're pawning her off as this goddess, correct?
Yes. The human reincarnation of the
Let me ask
the goddess.
Do you know how did they just walk back into town and say, here she is? Or did they offer up some kind of...
No, so she did... This is... Before this and then throughout this is when they're introducing... Like, how they do like herbal smoke cleansing rituals in... Native and a lot of Hispanic cultures. They're doing stuff like that, but they're doing it with cannabis. They're introducing peyote to everybody. I don't know all the forms they were ingesting the peyote, but they were. Excuse me. Again, still sick. So you have to think they're also not spending all of their time in a sober mind state. And peyote being a hallucinogen.
Tripping balls, baby. Tripping balls.
Yeah. It's a whole different world. So you bring this chick in and she's like,
doing a little dance.
Come to me, my children. I will deliver you to the Mexican version of Valhalla, whatever that may be. I will take you back to a place and a time, a simpler, better time. A place and a time called Don Pablo's.
Well,
yeah, you remember Don Pablo's, don't you?
Yeah, baby. People that are hard up or in bad times, it doesn't take much to they'll believe just about anything, not because they're stupid, but because they just want to believe in something.
Well, and all these people are those people. They're impoverished. They don't have a lot going on.
Right.
The people that are doing this...
It gives them hope, I guess.
The people that are doing this to them are cut from that cloth.
They're charlatans.
God damn it. They don't fucking come from money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's... The blind leading the blind, for lack of a better term, off the top of my head, but not really what I mean. So, through her charisma and her theatrical displays, the village, she convinced the village of her divinity. While she was doing this, part of her theatrical displays, Magdalena embraced this role for these people. Well, not for these people. In front of these people. And this is when she started adding layers of mysticism, including blood rituals.
Ooh, blood rituals.
Yes, ritualistic bloods.
So the religious writer saying she's a Satanist.
Oh yeah.
Even though drink of my blood, eat of my body. Let's don't ask those questions.
That's normal.
That's not cancel.
That's normal.
That's okay.
And getting little kids drunk on wine.
Communion. is a blood ritual, apparently. Anyway, continue.
Don't get me started on the Catholic Church.
Shitty grape juice.
Literally getting little kids drunk.
Fuck. When I was a kid, my church said, you just got grape juice. You didn't get the good shit. I want some wine.
Yeah, because they're trying to cover their steps now, their footprints now. Back in the day, they're like, here, little boy, get drunk and loose.
Lube them up.
Yeah. Take this. I mean, you got to think of the time period. Take this wine and this olive oil and meet me at the altar. Don't tell your mother or your father, but do tell your friends and your little brother. F for B, or W, Warner Brothers Studios, WB, wine and buttholes. That's what we're about.
Okay.
This wine is made from the sweet fruit that rhymes with what I shall do to you and your friends.
Okay. Blood rituals. Magdalena.
So through all this shit, between the drugs and the ritualistic shit that she started bringing into this cult, it's a cult now, officially.
Is it a cult if it's only 50 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at the Aho kids. You remember the Aho kids?
Oh, that's true, yeah.
They had less than this at a lot of points, and they were nailing people to trees and like jacking off in their skulls and shit.
That's true.
Yeah. So they bring in Magdalena, they increase the drug use. She brings in blood rituals. Through this turns into a cult, and it turns into a violent and ritualistic one at that.
All cults turn violent eventually.
Yeah. Now, that being said, this woman, person, thing, or idea, this noun, goes down in history as being one of the few female leaders of a sex-driven cult. Because it goes without saying, but we will touch on the fact that this whole time, the brothers and Magdalena are banging all these people. And each other, assumingly. They're just banging afoot.
Banging to banging.
Just banging all about.
What else is there to do in the desert?
The Mexican desert in the 60s.
Free love, baby. Free love.
It's not free. So, she introduced sacrificial blood drinking rites, claiming that it was essential for her spiritual power.
Nah, we're talking vampirism. I'm digging it.
Yes. Now, these villagers believed that she had the power to curse or bless their lives.
Of course.
That's a given. And those who questioned the ritual were beaten or ostracized, creating an atmosphere of fear and obedience. They would be considered, I believe the quote was, unbelievers.
Original. Not very...
We're not dealing with the highest IQ of human beings here.
I mean, no. So if you didn't drink the blood, you got pissy. They got pissy with you, basically.
Yes.
Okay, I get it.
So this is all going on. There's orgies going on, blood rituals, drugs. It's a cult. It fits all the fucking bills of being a cult. Now, there was fucking hell to pay if you did not follow the rules and believe in this cult. So, those who question these rituals... Oh, I already fucking hit that one. Let's go to an escalation of this situation, which is caused by... it's caused by unbelievers.
People questioning.
This is what pops the thing off.
As it should. Somebody call them bullshit.
So, this is... this all starts as rituals, simulations, staged rituals for the gods and goddesses. It quickly takes a turn south into legitimate bloodshed, where people were tortured and killed as part of the sacrifice, being beaten, chopped up with machetes, having their still beating hearts cut out of their chest, Kali Ma style from Indiana Jones.
Nice.
Kali Ma, that type shit. So they used these hallucinogens, like we were talking before, during these rituals to manipulate followers to create a sense of divine presence. Makes sense. I've done some hallucinogens. There's definitely a
divine.
Yeah, you
aspect
could
to it.
100% fall into that fucking category of life doing these things. So this goes on a pretty short period of time. All this happens, like not long at all. Like I'm talking like 2 years tops from start to finish of all
So it
this.
didn't take them long to get fucking batshit crazy.
Nah, not at all.
All right.
So we get to what they refer to as, or what they consider murders at this point.
Okay.
So 2 unbelievers, 2 members, they start to descend from the group. They start to question things and go, "Yo no sé. This seems a little bit fishy. I don't know about this." They're like, "You can only refry my beans so many times." I don't know why it turned kind of Italian there at the
I
end.
don't know.
Like, your huevos are rancheros, lady. I don't like it. But you got a little too much hot sauce on your brain, chica. Me and Perro and the dog are going to get into the low rider and we leave. Fuck you. It'd be great if that was the end of the story.
We're
That's
out.
actually how it ended. They're like, and the 2 jumped into their 6 faux Impala on faux bags and cruised off into the sunset on tiny little silver wheels. So they try to leave. What happens? They are then captured, hung,
Okay.
throughout this process, beaten, all that type of shit.
Tortured. Gotcha.
They collected their blood
Nice.
and consumed it during these ceremonies. Now, these ceremonies involved taking the blood of these sacrifices, quote unquote, putting it into a chalice with
As you
chicken blood.
do. Oh, we got watering it down.
And it's the 60s in the middle of nowhere, so I doubt there's any refrigerators.
I don't know.
Hot chicken blood?
Ooh.
Salmonella tea?
Hey.
A norovirus cocktail?
Well, I don't think if you're going this far, I don't think you're that worried about that shit.
Well, and then they were also, throwing some drugs. They're throwing some peyote into this chalice, too, as you do. And then that would be consumed by everyone. It started with Magdalena, and then the brothers, because the brothers were her, I don't know the hierarchy of any religion. I don't know. She's like the priestess. They're the bishops, I guess, maybe. Deacons,
Whatever.
sure. Yeah, that's what it's called. I saw one of those things at Mass one time. I leaned over and I was like, "Who's the sidekick?" And they were like, "It's the fucking deacon." I was like, "I don't know.
I don't know.
He seems like the fucking Bible bitch to me. He'd just be carrying that big ass Bible around and being like, page 69. He readeth from the 69th page." So yeah, they get deacons, sure.
We'll go
Second
with
in charge. She's the Pope, they're the cardinals.
Okay.
Not like the cool cardinals from Robin Hood.
Okay.
Oh no, never mind. He wasn't the cool. That was what's his fuck? Tim Curry. Wasn't it from the Robin Hood with Morgan Freeman and Kevin Costner?
Oh,
That's Tim Curry, wasn't it?
no, that was who played the sheriff of Nottingham?
No, they played the Cardinal.
Maybe it was. I'm thinking the guy from Die Hard was the sheriff.
Yeah. And then
Maybe you're right.
And then the random, really scratchy voiced guy that was like the assassin with the gay hat. You know who I'm talking about? The guy that wore all black. He was like the little hitman for the Cardinal. Cardinal.
I'm trying to think. It's been so long since I've seen it.
D'Artagnan approaches the gate. I shall fight him with tiny little flexible swords. I'm going to walk around like a badass and fight people with metal toothpicks. What?
I'm trying to think. I don't remember that
I think
part.
Tim Curry played
It might. You might be right on that. Now that I think about it.
R.I.P. Tim Curry.
Is he dead?
Yeah, pretty
Oh.
sure.
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
It, the original It?
Yeah, pretty sure he's dead.
Oh, that's sad. I didn't know that. Oh, anyway, continue.
Let's do the time warp again.
That's one thing I don't understand.
Men in Tights. That was a good Robin Hood. You remember Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Dude, I remember my oldest sister. She's the good kid out of all of us. Like she is. Like she's the one that like the one time that we know she smoked weed in her younger years, she like did it at a friend's house. And I think it was when fucking what was it? Zavos was still a thing over in like Sharonville, that like teens club that got shut down because it got shot up a couple times.
Oh yeah.
Fucking, I think it was over there. Maybe she was hanging out. I don't remember. She was, like I said, the good kid. The one time I know for a fact she smoked weed in her younger years, she like called my mom to come pick her up, and like my mom picked her up. And she was like clutching onto her backpack for dear life, and I'm like fucking 8. I'm like, chill out. I'm like 3.5 years from getting high for the first time, and I handled it fine. You fucking pussy. Like, you were basically an adult. I was still a child when I started putting shit into my body. Catholic Church reference. Yeah. So, again, they're doing these blood rituals now.
Basically,
they're fucking, they're having orgies.
They're murdering these two good people. Unbelievers.
And I didn't see any literature that said that any particular person of any age group was free of these activities. Yeah. So I also didn't see any that like damningly said that children were involved in
that's a plus.
Any of the sexual acts or anything. But do with that what you will. I have a feeling there wasn't very much stringency on that detail. So in May of 1963, again, this all started in 62. Now we're in May of early 63.
So we're barely a year into this.
Yeah. 2 hitchhikers stumbled upon this cult. One was killed, but the other escaped and reported the group to authorities.
Oh.
Yes.
Loose end.
Actually, this is a different story. I don't remember this. This is a slightly different story of the discovery of this cult than I specifically remember. I specifically remember most of it being revolving around one 14-year-old boy.
Okay.
Who was adventuring in these mountains. Yeah, I don't even remember writing that down. So the original story of the discovery of this cult that I remember is a 14-year-old boy that was out in these mountains searching for the
Peyote.
Mythical treasure that all the locals, I guess, it's every mountain. Every mountain has lost treasures. You got the Lost Dutchman's Mine out west. You got El Dorado. Okay. The original story I heard was this 14-year-old boy's out looking for treasure, adventuring, being a 14-year-old boy in the fucking desert, as they do.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I'm just looking to say it said it disconnected.
Disconnected and reconnected. Yeah, fuck it.
It never...
I think this computer's just a stupid idiot. It's got a lower IQ than my left nut.
I don't know. It just never...
Which has a negative IQ.
The picture never buzzed. Generally, we get something... I don't know. Anyway, continue.
So, the original story is this... Oh, God! Look at that fucking giant chicken leg. 14-year-old boy's doing 14-year-old boy shit that lives in the middle of Mexico in the 60s. He's going through the mountains looking for treasures and...
Playboys.
Peyotes. Yeah, play niños. Whatever. And upon this adventure he's on, he happens to notice one of these blood rituals and orgies going on in the caves because this was the caves was their like their altar, if you will.
Okay. Their sanctuary.
Yeah.
Their cathedral.
Because the community is at the base of the mountain, and then the caves are like up a little ways.
Well, they're sacred, probably.
Or they're just big fucking holes in the side of a rock wall.
Okay.
Take your pick. So this kid stumbles across this shit, goes, "Ay, Dios mío, yo necesito las policías." And as lore has it, this kid turns around and runs for like 10 miles or some shit to the nearest police station. That's how far out we are. If this was America, I'd call bullshit. Other countries, I'm like, yeah, that kid could probably run 10 miles.
Oh, fuck. America, we ain't run 10 fucking...
I'm stopping for a smoke if I have to run to the front door.
Might make it to the stop sign.
I've always said that. I'm like, dude, I would be the worst fucking character to cast realistically in a horror movie, like a slasher. Because they'd be like, oh, no, it's Jason. And we'd be like, fuck. And like everybody runs and scatters. And like Jason takes like 9.5 steps and just turns left. And like I'm on the side of the building, like halfway through a cigarette, like... Hold on.
Like the old adage says, you faster than a bear? Don't have to be faster than a bear. I just have to be faster than you.
Time out. And then like punch him in the balls or sack tap him. Time in. Oh God. I really just, we need to make a horror movie. We need to make a slasher, but we as ourselves need to be the victims.
Well, don't we have to have the token black guy get killed first?
I know just the guy.
Who? Lamont?
Yep.
Okay, Lamont. He's not here.
Little short, fat black dude. He's perfect.
You're in the movie. You've been cast.
He would physically, both for racist movie reasons and for physical reasons, make sense.
Can we base it around the story?
Well, yeah, I mean, then the token black guy dying first in the movie would make sense.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, we've never seen one of those. What's that one? That looks like the bean my mom makes that I don't like.
All right. So did they kill this boy or what? The boy ran. Did he? Was it like?
Well.
What? I mean, was it like the story of Marathon where the runner ran the marathon, ran to tell him, and then died? Did the kid die after 10 fucking miles?
Yeah, he died before he got there. He had a fucking brain aneurysm at mile 9.75, or at kilometer 468, whatever the exchange rate is on that, whatever a kilometer is in freedom units.
I don't know.
So this kid runs, like, I've seen everything from like 10 to 15 miles, whatever, a really fucking long distance. I don't give a shit. Anything over 35 feet is a long distance.
I will give you 100 yards.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I think there's a lot more people in this world that couldn't or would be more exhausted after running 100 yards than they think they would be.
Oh, 100 yards is...
That's 300 feet. That's fucking, what, 360 inches?
I need a calculator to figure that out.
3,600 inches.
That's a lot. 100-yard dashes. 40-yard dashes fucking can wear a motherfucker out.
Yeah, 3,600 inches, I think. Same as my dick. So this kid runs and gets the cops, and this one lonely cop, which when I originally looked into the story, I was like, why just one cop? And then I was like, that's probably the only one. And fucking Mexican Andy Griffith had already gone home to have dinner with Aunt B and Opie, and this fucking kid got Mexican Barney Fife
with his one bullet.
Well, adios mio. Don't dare style of trouble, little fella.
Oh God.
So this kid and this cop, the cop, he goes, just show me where you see these things. Kid tells him what he saw. He's like, this bitch was drinking blood, and they're doing drugs, and they're licking each other's holes, and then some guy touched another guy, and that's against Jesus. I swear by that right there. That's my Lord and Savior, Jeebus Christmas right there. Him and Raise Hell, Praise Dale. But they's licking each other's buttholes and touching each other's wee spots, and there's bleeding on each other, and they liked it, and they's doing drugs, and then one of them or two of them was dead, and the one bitch pulled out a heart. I think the fella was dead.
Good bet.
If he wasn't, he is now. That'd be great though. Could you imagine if you could just like put it back real quick, like Fuck, what movie is that? Is that MacGruber? Have you ever seen MacGruber?
No.
You've never seen MacGruber?
No.
The satirical parody of MacGyver?
No.
Oh my God, his friend gets like blown up or something like that, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he's like, got his intestines. He's like, "Is that where that goes?"
I've probably seen some. I've seen some of it. I've never watched it.
So, Mexican Opie and Mexican Gomer Pyle go back to the scene of this crime, and when they get there, what happens?
Nobody's there.
They got captured. And as far as my knowledge of the story goes, Mexican Opie and Mexican Gomer Pyle also ended up on the chopping block for this group of people.
They got sacrificed.
Amongst other things, I'm sure.
They got probed.
They might have got fooked.
And drained. Multiple drainings.
Yeah.
Drained and milked.
It was like fucking Ace Ventura, but they're like, "Queen, I have my sacrifice. Is that the red or the white?"
So how far is this kid going to have to run to the next police station?
Heaven? however long the stairway to heaven is.
65 miles?
He feels no pain anymore. He can run for miles and miles and miles. So that's the story I know. Could be wrong. I like that one better than the one I was going to touch on with the two hitchhikers. They got baby, one of them got away. But like, that's
boring.
Yeah. We like the one where the little kid has to Forrest Gump it.
Run, Forrest, run.
He has to fucking desert yump. I don't know. Is that the Mexican version of Forrest Gump?
With his little fucking 1986 Nikes.
Desert jump?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wore Cortez's too. Was that what he wore?
What?
Did Forrest Gump wear Cortez's? Those look like comfortable shoes.
I think so.
Mama said they was my magic shoes. She told me they take me anywhere I want to go. That's how this kid felt about his little fucking leather and wood sandals. his feet are looking like Jesus' face after he carried the cross up that hill because he just ran 10 fucking miles in the Mexican desert with nothing but fucking chopped up radials with strings on them. So he's dead. They fucked him and killed him. Drained his blood, tore his heart out. Gomer Pyle.
So there's two cops that went back.
One cop.
One cop? Okay.
One cop went. The kid took him back to because.
So they killed the kid?
As far as I know.
Oh, bastards!
But backup was not far behind in this story, apparently, right. Because there also ended up being a very violent back and forth between the followers of this sex blood cult and the police, which I'm not gonna lie, in this area of Mexico, initially I was like, how violent could it be? I feel like they were just like, fuck you, and like throwing rocks at each other.
You bastard.
Like the fucking the
where's the cartels when you need them?
The cult people are like fucking stringing up cactuses on string, like an Indiana Jones fucking trick.
Them needles get pricked.
The bitch is hurt. Have you ever been hit by a fucking cactus at all? They hurt.
I was for some reason I had a cactus as a kid. I have no idea why. That motherfucker's got me all the time. You think I'd learn?
Your mom was like, "You have to learn to care for something, Philip.
You can't kill a cactus.
You can't go through your life just eating Butterfingers and crying."
Watch me.
Oh shit! So there's like a straight up fucking
shootout.
There's a raid committed, basically, but throughout this, both the Hernandez brothers were killed in a shootout.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, they were both killed in the shootout. Multiple people from the cult and from the police were shot over the course of these shootouts because I guess it took them a while to like really smoke them out of there.
Huh.
Which doesn't surprise me. I'm like, it probably took them about as long as it takes to come down from peyote, I would imagine. It started and they're like, "No, fuck you! Do not take us alive! Viva la Che!" All that shit. And then like 8 hours later, they're like, "What the fuck? How did I get here? Ignacio, bring my horse. Get the tortillas, the good ones. We're out of here." So eventually this shit all settles. People are dead. The Hernandez brothers are dead. Cops are fucking dead. Don't know where these people had all these guns coming from to fucking have this big firefight with the cops.
It's a must for a cult.
Magdalena and her brother Eleazar survive.
Oh, of course they did.
Both arrested.
Well, she was the goddess or princess or whatever.
Yeah. And then, as you see there, a lot of people did escape into the mountains and shit like that. I feel like they probably just got away scot-free. I mean, they just go, 2 towns over there, like, my name is Juan. Do you have ID? Did you? That's what I thought. Shut the fuck up. So, Magdalena and Eleazar are convicted of 2 murders. That's all they can confirm.
Okay.
And from my understanding, that's the like 14-year-old boy and the cop.
Okay.
Those are the ones they can confirm they did or caused.
Makes sense, actually.
You know, you get caught red-handed with a handful of beating human heart.
Signs are good. You're going to jail.
Pretty solid evidence.
That yeah, beats a lie detector test any day of the week.
Like the only way it's getting worse for you is if somehow you find a way to leave a fingerprint on it, pluck a strand of your hair out,
and
then jerk off on it. Yeah,
I knew where you were going.
If you use your own fluids to stick your hair follicle onto the beating heart, that's the only way you can make yourself
Pretty
more
much
fucked.
Every piece of DNA possible, you give it to them.
Or like property of Magdalena Solís, written in Sharpie on beating heart. They're like, man, you write really fast. Like, see. So they both received, you ready? 50 years.
That's a...
50 years.
That's it for
50 fucking years for starting a cult.
Yeah, but 50 years in a Mexican prison is pretty bad, I guess.
And also, we don't know exactly how old they were at this time either.
Well, yeah.
She could be
late
30.
20s, late 20s, early 30s.
Or for all we know, this bitch was 102 years old already.
Well, she's either early 20s or early 30s.
She could have been out there eating them sweet onions from holes.
Hey.
To keep the yellow-spotted lizards away.
I can guarantee you she looked 45.
Did you see the picture on the thumbnail?
I didn't pay that much.
I don't know when that picture was taken, but like I said, allegedly that's like one of the only known photos.
Was she a looker? Was she someone attractive? Oh, okay.
I mean, she wasn't like
because
Sofia Vergara hot, but like
that was. Speaking of that, Grumpy Old Men 1 and 2, or Grumpy, it was on last night.
I know it was on when I came home.
I know because I
walked through and I was like, I haven't watched this in a while.
I woke up, Grumpy Old Man was on. I was like, she's hot for an older woman.
Oh yeah, well I'll get to that at the end. Okay. So the cult dissolved.
Naturally.
But the story left a dark stain on the region's history, mostly blood-colored. No shit, you fucking think? Native Americans are First Nations people across the world paint shit with berries and shit on cave walls, and that's still around. This bitch is bleeding people out left and right, doing peyote in a mountain, and you think there's not going to be a dark... No, hit the nail on the head with that one. They really nailed the dark stain. No shit.
Yes.
So, today, is she alive?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no.
We don't know. We do not know where she is.
She'd be 80 or 90 years old.
She would be released from prison. Don't know if she is. Don't know if she's alive. Don't know when she was born.
So
good job, Mexico.
So she would have got out if...
What, 2013?
2013, yeah.
Ish. Yeah.
But she was either 70 or 80 years. She's probably 80 or 90 years old if she's still alive. Just saying. I'm going to go out on a limb and say she did.
Probably.
She probably didn't even get out of prison. She probably died in prison.
Probably. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
now, clearly she was crazy.
Was she, though?
Yeah. I think she was.
Or was she just
I think a lot of
circumstance?
I think that's what I was going to say. I think, and don't get me wrong. I'm not excusing this blood cult orgy shit. Well, orgies are okay as long as there's no kids involved. But like, I think she probably was a little crazy, but I think it was a product of an environment type deal.
I mean, yeah.
You can't go through the shit that it seems like that chick went through and be totally normal.
There's going to be a few scars.
Especially when your brother's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dreaming.
I just don't want to go into a seizure.
No, that's a dream.
I know, but...
But yeah, that's Magdalena Solís.
Well, happy joy.
The High Priestess of Blood.
Well, that was...
Like I said, not a crazy... Well, it's fucking crazy, but like, so quick. There's not much to it.
I mean,
but there is.
Might have been the fastest cult.
One of.
It's a shooting star.
The Anthill kids were up there too.
Yeah, I mean, but you had me at blood. I think they could have dove a little bit more into the vampiric. And, hey, I'm not a big blood cult guy, but that's sex magic. I can get behind that.
See, I don't even like... I want more information on like what were they feeding people about the orgy and blood magic combination? I would assume that they're connected. I wouldn't think that they're just like, drink this blood and everybody fuck. Let's see what happens.
It's the fluid of life. Blood is basically what
one of them.
Vampires. The whole vampire story is based on blood gives life.
Yeah.
Or genochrome. Now.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like.
We've always had a fascination with blood.
I don't know. I just feel like the blood drinking would be the thing that would lose me.
I couldn't do it.
If they were like, drink this blood and it will bring
texture.
you good health, and I'd be like, well, you tackle it from two positions. One is like, gross, no thanks. Two, it's like, especially knowing what we know now, I'd be like, that is not true. And you're mixing that with chicken blood, ma'am. That is highly dangerous. That's how you get salmonella. In case you were wondering. Haven't shit solid in a month? Wonder why.
Wasn't that a gangster in New York?
Salmonella?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Salmonella.
All right.
They named folders after me. Or the chick that, did I ever tell you about that, or did you ever see that?
What?
Fucking girl years ago that posted a picture of her grilled chicken tenders, and she was like, nobody told me that grilled medium or medium rare grilled chicken tenders were so good and so juicy. And like, it was a picture of a piece of chicken cut and open, and it was still pink on the inside. And somebody was like, that's how it was like, you're going to get salmonella. And she was like, it's chicken, not salmon. And I saw that, and everybody was like, she's going to get hurt. I'm like, good. That if God is real, that's him thinning the herd a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick to that girl's family, but the world don't need that one. I don't know any human being that would bite into a piece of chicken and see pink on the inside of it and go and not go, mm-mm.
I mean, I've done it and caught it.
Yeah. And I'm immediately like, can I
put that back on the grill for a while.
Can I get a shot of something really strong to try to save my own life?
It kills this bacteria. All right. I think that's going to do it for this week. We will be back next week.
Like I said, nothing too crazy, just some blood drinking and orgies.
Hey, who doesn't like orgies? I can do without the blood drinking.
This is just good old-fashioned Mexican-American fun. The only thing they were missing was fucking a mariachi band and some coronas. Or, well, whatever Mexicans actually drink. Yeah, Dos Equis, Sol, Pacifico.
I don't know.
Or back then, just fucking... We have beer, we have wines, we have really, really, really old donkey piss.
Which is basically our version of domestic. I heard don't drink a Bud Light or Miller Lite in Mexico. It's skunked as fuck.
Oh, probably.
Anyway, but we will be back next week. Thanks for everybody who joined us on the live stream. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll probably be back next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Cunt. It'd be sunt, really.
We have a special episode tomorrow. I'm going to try this
Tomorrow?
week, or I'm sorry, next week.
Oh, I was going to say, what the fuck are we doing tomorrow? I didn't know about this.
We're going to hit all the wheelhouse shit we love. Cults, drugs, murder, no vampirism.
The government.
But this might be conspiracy. The greatest.
Is this going to be a 1 week episode?
I'm going to try to get it down to one. But
I'll be surprised.
I'll let you guys be the judge of what, or I'll let you guys guess at what it's going to be.
Take a guess down in the comments below, even though there's not going to be any comments below.
The greatest cult of all time.
I don't know about that.
The most nefarious cult of all time.
Most famous.
Most famous cult.
Or infamous.
Infamous. But there was a lot more to the story that we haven't been told. I'm going to leave it with that, kids. So we will come next week, and we will make you come.
With our words.
Be like, what was that? Pirate parts. Sit on the speaker. Sit on the woofer.
I just saw a fucking video of Lady Gaga stopping a sound check, and she was like, can we please do something about that bass tone? And the guy was like on the keys and shit was just like looking over, and she was like, not the sound. She was like, the vibration. I feel like I'm going to throw up. And she was like, she was like, you know what? What it is? I'm going to have an orgasm accidentally. She was like, it's like I'm inside of a vibrator, and the guy back there just starts smiling. I was like, man, his life just flashed before his fucking eyes when she first said that, because he was like, oh, I'm getting fired for sure. And then he smiled, and I was like, oh, thank God.
All right.
She almost Billy Joel'd that poor man.
All right. We will be back next week. Thanks for everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that shit. Follow us on your favorite podcast app. Rate, review, and follow our shorts, because you never know when they're going to get taken down.
And keep your blood separate from your orgies.
Right. Don't do them both at the same time. Do blood first, orgies second.
Drugs, interchangeable.
I don't recommend doing all three at one time.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
I have a 24-hour fucking...
I have a feeling the blood would really wig you the fuck out on some hallucinogens.
Yeah. All right. Take care, fuckers. Say bye.
Oh, I have the thingy.
You got the thing. I'm waiting on you, motherfucker.
All right. Don't forget to tip your waitress and try the chipped beef.